Hello class, this is a semester project in iOS app development. iCycle is the name of our app. This is done by Javier, Dres, and I, John. Our application is called iCycle. The reason we decided to do this application and a little bit of background is because we wanted to create an application that we could trust. As cycle enthusiasts, we wanted to make an app that will help us find trails and we could use as a map. The main issue with other apps is security. Sharing your location with an unknown publisher is always a risk. For the development of this app, we actually use Swift programming, which is the same programming that we've been doing throughout the semester in class. Swift is an application that lets you write software for phones, desktop servers, and anything else that runs code. Writing a Swift code in a playground lets the user experiment with the code and sees the results right away, with no overhead or building and running an application. So here you can see a little bit of our app development, the code that we use. This is all with the same terminology and concepts that we learned in class, such as getting used to using your UI view controller or even the map view. Right here you can see the main storyboard. So the main storyboard, it's where you can see multiple screens, all the multiple screens in your app, multiple views, the segues that go from app to app. It's a pretty good layout and map of what your application is looking like as you're building it. So this is a couple screens that we have in our application. The first one is the login screen that authenticates users. I'll let you know if the user was approved, yes or no, and if not, it doesn't allow you access. We also have a web view of bike trails. This screen redirects you to Trail Link, which shows you local trails, or in this case, New York, or wherever you're located. They have all the states and different cities. We also have another button that gives you the user's location. So if you're cycling or you want to just get a guidance on where you're at exactly, it has a GPS signal and it'll show you exactly where you're located. In this case, our user is located in Times Square. We will now follow up with a live demonstration of our code and our actual app running.
Okay, so this is a walkthrough of our application iCycle, and I'm gonna just do a run through of the coding and how we coded this app. So this is our first interface, the view controller. As you can see, here we have two image views, a button, two labels, and two text views. So with this app, I actually also included a alert icon, a box. So when the user puts in their credentials, if they put in the right credentials, it's going to say user approved and an access granted. And then right under that is going to be an OK button. Once they hit that, it's going to perform a segue to the next view, which will be this one on the right hand side. And if else, if there's a wrong username and password, another box will come up, another user alert, and it's going to say user password incorrect, access denied, and it's just going to return back to the same interface. It won't let the user move past the first one. We have the following variables, which is the credentials to access the app itself is myself, Johnny, and Driss, and the following passwords, which are very easy. Our username variables and passwords and the strings attached to it. Right underneath that is our button login, and what happens when the user clicks the button is going to look for it's going to look for the it's going to register to see if the username and password are correct alongside with the alert. So next is the choices view, and this view entails two buttons, which is searching for the bike trails in New York This is limited to New York as of right now. And then the bottom button would be to open up a map view of the user's current location. Johnny's going to explain now what the two other views do in detail.
So the first view we have, it's a WebKit view. So what it does is, right here. Okay, so what it does is it links the user once they click on that button. It links them directly to the website we provided. Since a request, and the user gets access to that website, which is a New York road, New York trail, bike trail. The second button that we added is, so the second, there you go. Second button that we added is this one, and it's a map view. Also another term in aspect learning class that addresses the location of the user in this case and where they're located at the moment. And for that, we included a different map view, imported a couple different packages where it delegates different aspects. It finds exactly where you're located. It needs to be authorized by the phone, which is something that you enable in here. You could even put a custom message exactly what you're asking for, and it's a location. It gives you permission to use the location. So now we're going to show a live demonstration of the app. We actually have it running on the phone simulator. Should be right. There you go, a fresh build. So we're gonna log in right away. We'll put in a wrong password on purpose. See what happens. We get the incorrect button. Access denied. No way to get in unless you put the right password. Let's put in the right password now. And there we go. Access granted.
All right, so from here, we can access the bike trails. If we click the first button, Search New York Bike Trails. So this pulls up a link of all the bike trails in New York State. So through here, you can easily just go down, go look for bike trails, walking trails, whatever it has here on this website, and then you can narrow it down to cities. If you keep going down and view more cities, you could just come down all the way down to New York City and look for your trails. For our second button is using our user location so the biker can see where he's at currently on the map. And right now he's in Times Square, I believe. So as you can see, the user's right there in Times Square on 47th and Broadway, or 8th, 7th, 47th and 7th.
And this is what our application looks like from the user's perspective. This is the end of our project. Thank you.